Welcome to Thieves' Cant, a tabletop gaming podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Shane and Chris White.
Welcome in, welcome back. It is Thieves' Cant, Wednesday, February 4th. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
Glad to have you back. As always, thanks for listening, subscribing at thievescantcast. Email thievescantcast@gmail.com. Today we have a Forge of Creation episode.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to be doing some tinkering, but today, rather than rolling on random tables or building a character, we're going to utilize one of the most powerful tools that we have at our disposal as game masters, the tool of reskinning. So with that, we enter the Forge of Creation to reskin a monster.
The Forge of Creation.
Chris, unless you have a different preference, I'd like to reskin a draw steel monster.
Okay.
Taking a look at the Chimera from Draw Steel.
Okay.
That sound cool?
Yeah, it's the goat.
At least partially. We've got a goat head, a lion head, and a dragon head on the Chimera. Each one has like a different kind of attack.
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever run a Chimera in combat?
I know I've encountered a few. I don't think that I've ever run one.
All right, so before we actually jump into reskinning and changing this into not a Chimera, let's look at what a Chimera actually does in Draw Steel. Some of its big attacks. Looks like it's got a signature bite. Of course, each of those heads has a separate attack. The dragon's eruption is going to deal some fire damage. The lion's roar is a magical burst attack that'll deal some psychic damage, which makes sense, right? It's intimidating. There's also a lion's toss that it can use to push opponents around the field.
Toss me.
The ram's defiance is a melee attack. That's going to deal damage and slow the opponent.
Okay. Little debuff.
Right. So we're seeing a range of abilities here. It can damage. It can do different types of damage. It can move people around. It can slow you down. That's what we're looking at on the surface. We've got a mythological creature, 3 heads, each is different, and they each do different types of attacks. How can we make this look like something entirely different without having to go through the headache of coming up with our own mechanics? And I want to use what's here.
Right.
So I think one route that we could go that looks totally different than the Chimera, why don't we make this some sort of a construct or a golem or something of that nature?
Okay. I can see that.
So you've almost got this big robot-looking thing stomping around, right? It doesn't have 3 heads. It might not have a single head.
Right.
If we go back to that signature ability bite attack, that could be a club or a fist, right?
Yeah.
Stomp.
Yeah.
Right?
Pinchers
would work. Again, this is a 2d10 plus 3 roll, and it's going to deal 9, 13, or 16 damage, depending on the tier that you roll. So there's nothing saying that we can't just change that from a bite to pinchers.
Yeah, makes sense.
It says the effect is if the strike will deal an extra 3 damage if it gains an edge or has a double edge. So that's not impacted.
Right.
The dragon's eruption. 2d10 plus 3 is the roll, and it targets a 3-square cube within 10, dealing fire damage anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, like a blowtorch?
Flamethrower
arm.
Yeah.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
It's not a dragon head. It's a flamethrower arm.
Or it's got a red gem on its shoulder that shoots out a beam.
Sure.
Yeah.
Big red gem right in the middle of it. If it doesn't, right in the middle of its head.
Oh, yeah. Angry head beam.
What about the roar? The lion's roar. 2d10 plus 3 is the roll. It's a 5 burst ability that'll deal psychic damage, 4, 8, or 10. We can always reskin that damage type if we want to.
Yeah.
But, I'm lazy. I don't want to do a ton of work here.
Yes.
So if we keep it psychic damage, how can we explain that?
Would a sonic attack, would that count as, or like maybe it's a psychic inhibitor. Maybe it's like a thought blocker or something that's built into this thing.
Okay.
It's got that purple rod coming off the top of its fiery head, and it's
right.
That's the psychic blaster.
The Lion's Toss. This is the roll that will let you push the adversary around anywhere from 2 squares to 5 squares at the high end. So 2d10 plus 3 roll, and you're moving the enemy around.
Right. Big robot, easy.
Yeah, this could be a backhand, or it could be some sort of field that it activates, like a pulse.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the Ram's Defiance. So this one's a triggered action. It looks like if our construct is attacked, well, I'll read it as it's written for the Chimera. A creature makes a strike against the Chimera and obtains a tier 1 outcome. Then the Chimera can shift up to 5 squares in the shift within distance of the target, and then it gets to make a power roll to deal damage.
Yeah, and slow them,
correct. Yeah. So for our construct, how do we explain this one? Well, if it's already got some sort of like pulse that will repel an enemy, this could be tied to that. It can also slow them.
Like a shield of some kind.
Right.
Yeah. It's really the effect that you're focused on.
And honestly, I mean, the process that you and I are sitting here going through is taking more time than what it's going to take you at the table.
Right.
If you need to do this on the fly, this is easy.
Yeah.
You can flip open your monster book, find something of an appropriate challenge, and just, as you said, Chris, I think that kind of sums it up. What is the effect? That's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Playing with those effects.
Yeah, exactly. And there's 2 ways to approach it, right? I mean, you can come at it with, I would like a creature with this effect, or I would like something that fights like a chimera, but, I don't have chimeras in my world. I don't want chimeras.
Yeah, there's no 3-headed mythological creatures running around. This is more sci-fi.
Right. And so then you're sort of building up. You're explaining how the creature could use those abilities, or how those abilities would come to be based off this thing, which I still think it's important to have visual cues, like we talked about with the thing's face lights up red when it's about to shoot the fire beam, right? It's not a fire-breathing dragon, but at least the adventurers will have a clue of what's coming.
Yeah.
The other way to do this, and I think this is how I do it more commonly, is I have a thing in mind, right? I have my, anthropomorphic honey badger of doom, right?
Yeah.
And so now, for me, I'm going through the monster book, and I'm looking for things that I think fit that type.
Sure.
And sometimes you'll be surprised what does, or you might get inspiration, right? You're like, well, I was just thinking that this thing would bite guys, but I didn't think that it, maybe it does cause fear, or maybe it does slow them on the attack, right? So basically, you can come at it from either direction. Either you have something in mind, or you want to be inspired by a kit that you've seen in the book.
Either approach is valid, and again, just a really strong tool to use as a GM. It's flexible, it's simple.
Well, I mean, you think about it, we do this all the time, right? I mean, you may have stats for a bandit, but if you need pirates, just water bandits, right? I mean, we all do this to some extent already. It's just, I think this just demonstrates that if you really start using your imagination, you can find a lot of this work has already been done as far as the balancing.
Yeah.
And everything else. It's just changing that flavor to
flavor.
fit your setting. Yeah.
It's all flavor. All right. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure that you like and subscribe. Be sure and leave that 5-star review wherever you consume the show. And thanks for listening as always. Hey, tomorrow we're back. We're talking exploration in TTRPGs.
Oh.
Chris, a topic that I know that you have some thoughts on.
Always opinions. Good or bad, I have them.
All right. And tomorrow we'll hear them. Until then, again, thanks for listening. It's been Thieves Can't. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
So long.
Thank you for listening to Thieves Can't. Email thievescantcast@gmail.com.